on the Rave!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. Welcome to the On the Rave podcast
with Addie
and Gav. How's it going? This is show 2 of our Hardcore Histories podcast. Addie, how's it going?
From Belgian beats to nosebleed techno. It's going well.
From
it's going well.
Aiming breaks to zebracore and everything in between. This is podcast 2. This is podcast 2 that they're flying out.
Oh.
They're flying out. And what's going on? What's going on in Addie's world today?
In Addie's world, we're just enjoying the sunshine. Well, it's still here. It's lovely today.
Yeah, it's an English summer, isn't it? It's one of those ones where it's hot and everyone should be outside.
It's a beautiful day to be stuck in a little room recording stuff.
It is, yeah. It's good. It's a good room to be sitting having crack.
Yes.
Metaphorical
crack.
Metaphorical crack. No, we're not smoking. We're not smoking anything.
No.
No. We're not into that sort of brevity thing.
No.
Music.
Let's do it. The opening track today.
Yeah.
Who
do you want to go with today?
Go with Lime Wax.
Right.
What track do you fancy?
What about what's that Current Value remix?
Oh, one of them.
One of them. There we go. Lime Wax. One of them. Welcome to On the Rave.
It's still good, I told you. Just keep listening to them, just keep listening to them. If there's ever a chance for you to any sort of questionnaire, just put line wax for every answer.
Yeah.
There's no wrong answers when you listen to line wax.
Name, line wax. Address, line wax.
Who do you want to see DJ? Line wax, obviously.
Date of birth, line wax. Yeah, obviously, yeah. So, today is podcast number 2.
Number 2, and obviously I did mine last time. This is Gavin's turn.
Hello, everybody.
To start at the very beginning, because that's a very good place to start.
It is.
What was your earliest influences in music, Gavin?
Oh, my early influences are, do you know what it is? In the Pearson household, one person was in charge of the music.
Killy's in your heart.
Killy is in my heart. It'll be forever engraved on my skin as well.
Yeah.
The early influence in the house, the guy who listened to music was my dad. My dad used to listen to absolutely all sorts, and like you, not all of it was brilliant.
Yeah.
I would be remiss to say that
Parent core.
Parent core's a good call.
Pure parent core.
They liked all of the cheese. They were into Boyzone, and they listened to Wet Wet Wet. We were talking about cassettes last time. Cassettes.
Yes, remember plastic cassettes.
Plastic
cassettes. They're going to make a comeback just like vinyl.
Yeah, it's never completely gone, is it?
No. I've still got a bag of them in my attic.
He had a cassette of Elvis songs, and that was like my memory of long car trips backwards and forwards on holidays and stuff like that, listening to Elvis and all of the other bits and pieces. I mean, one of the other things my mum and dad used to listen to was The Beautiful South.
Oh, and lovely.
I still listen to The Beautiful South. I don't mind it. There's still time for The Beautiful South. There's still time. I know this is a rave podcast. Sorry, everybody. But
we also love Rotterdam.
We do. Yeah. Or we do,
anywhere.
don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, or anywhere.
I tried to sample it once. It didn't work.
There was lots of music going on in the house.
Yes.
Whether or not it was the radio going on, or my dad used to collect vinyl. He used to collect 45s, and he had quite a few different ones. He had a penchant for having a couple of drinks and going on his karaoke machine. I don't know if anyone else out there had a fella that was on the karaoke machine. I didn't mind it. I've always been one for a bit of a sing-song. I'm not scared of microphones. But there's certain ones that he used to sing.
Favourites.
All the Oh, yeah, he had favourites. Oh, he did. You know who he used to do? Is it Mac the Knife?
Oh, yes.
That's a bit of proper dad call, that is.
Yeah, it is dad call, that. Indeed. Is there anything else?
Well, do you know what? He didn't really listen to anything by the way of rave.
I think it's a bit past his time.
Well, they grew up in a different generation to us,
Yes.
didn't they? Like, he grew up listening to different sorts of beats, but there was like the occasional tune that he listened to that I was like, what is that? Like, that's amazing. And one of the ones I'll always remember him, one of the bands I always remember him singing, Erasure. My dad used to get up on the karaoke after having a couple of tipples, and do you know what it is? He's 6 foot odd, broad bloke, kind of like myself. He's built a similar way. He hasn't got the beard and he's got the receding hairline, unlike me. But he used to get up and he would transform. He'd pick up the microphone and he'd start singing an Erasure song.
He's going to get a pure mid-score.
Oh my lord, yeah. You'd see the flicks of the wrist, and it was if Andy Bell, is it Andy Bell who's the lead singer of Erasure? I might have.
I believe so.
I know it is. I'm going to cause chaos in the comment section.
Yeah.
If I'm an idiot and I've got it wrong, let us know in the comments. But
I always like to put Jimmy Somerville's name out just because Smurf is hardcore Jimmy Somerville.
Well, yeah, and like to me, there was always like the little bits and pieces of Erasure that he did. I mean, he used to sing Always, which I'd remember, which
Yes.
wasn't particularly ravey. But I don't know, I've got these amazing memories of him just mincing around and playing and singing. And there's one particular song that he'd get up and sing that I just, like, I couldn't help it. I couldn't turn me back on it. And it was, I Love to Hate You. And as much as it's like that early sort of gay synth pop music,
You got a little bit of synth pop though.
I would. Do you know what it is?
That sort of genre.
Fucking love to go and see Erasure.
Yeah.
I really would. I'd love to go out for a night on the Mints.
I'm sure Drew will take you.
I'm sure Drew's already been there before.
I remember.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that Shouty Drew would take us.
Big up Drew. Sheeran, Keegan,
shouting stuff. But in any case, yeah, I just Erasure. I Love to Hate You.
Let's hit it.
Yeah, let's hit it.
Crazy flowing over with ideas. 1,000 ways to move a lover so sincere. Love and hate, what a beautiful combination. up and down my spine. And the lovers that you sent for me didn't come with any satisfaction guarantee. So I returned them to the sender, and the note attached will read, how I love to hate you, I love to hate you, I love to hate you, I love to hate you. Oh, you really still expect me to believe every single letter I receive? Sorry, Lou, what a shameful situation, sending shivers up and down my spine. Ooh, I like to read a murder mystery. I like to know the killer isn't me. Love and hate, what a beautiful combination. Sending shivers make me feel a gaze, sliver up and down my spine. And the lovers that you sent for me didn't come with any satisfaction guarantee. So I returned them to the sender, and the note attached will read, how I love to hate you, I love to hate you, I love to hate you, I love to hate you. And the lovers that you sent for me didn't come with any satisfaction guarantee. So I returned them to the sender, and the note attached will read, how I love to hate you, I love to hate you. And the lovers that you sent for me didn't come with any satisfaction guarantee. So I returned them to the sender, and the note attached will read, how I love to hate you, 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 I love to hate you.
And the lovers that you sent for me. That's just something about that song that I absolutely love.
It's Campus Christmas. It's
It
great.
is. That was Erasure. I Love to Hate You. That is from 1991.
It's turned, we're going way back.
Yeah, yeah. That
So-
was on the album Chorus.
Question number 2, Gavin.
Yeah.
When you first started, when you get past your erasure zone with your dad, and you just find your feet into this world of rave, what's the first thing that you came to? Or what's the most influential thing? Something that gripped you at early doors.
Right. Okay. So early doors, when I first started listening to music, there was a few different bits and pieces that I fell into. I loved rap. I really did. But it was the cheesy more 90s rap that was out at the time.
Will Smith?
I had Will Smith. I had the Tupac
I
records.
love a bit of summertime, like.
Well, there's a bit of everything there. Everyone loves getting jiggy with Will. He raps happy.
He is a happy rapper.
He does. He raps happy. And then
Also, DJ Jazzy Jeff, one of the best DJs I've ever seen in my life.
I went to go and see DJ Jazzy Jeff once at the old
Riverside. I was there.
Foundation.
Yes, I was there.
The night I went to go and see Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, they didn't actually turn up, and they had a replacement DJ on, and the replacement DJ was Ronnie Size.
Oh,
which is
that's
obviously
that's a weird replacement DJ.
it is. It's a massive change, isn't
Yeah.
it? So you turn up like all ready to get jiggy with it, and Ronnie Size was on.
Fantastic. The booking, though. That's it.
Like for a
But,
minute
you know.
swap. Yeah, I mean it's a massively different, by the way, genre.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love the hip hop stuff, and I used to spend a lot of time over at my mate Ali's house and would sit and play on
Oh,
his PC.
step on.
Oh yes. Yeah, so
Killy's in his heart also.
Oh, and we would sit and play Grand Theft Auto. But what he'd do is he'd mute all the tunes, and he'd have Winamp. Oh, remember Winamp?
Oh. I do, unfortunately.
And he'd have MP3s rolling in the background, and we'd listen to stuff like Mos Def. We'd listen to Roots Maneuver. We'd listen to bits and pieces of stuff like LTJ Buckham and that sort of liquidy drum and bass style.
Nice.
And that's the sort of thing that I sort of, when I started discovering music for myself, it was the hip hop, it was the liquidy more floaty, I don't know, that's the way to describe it, style of drum and bass, rather than the harder stuff that I would get into after I met radicals like you. So my finding of feet was, it's probably laced through hip hop. I got into rave through hip-hop.
If it's there, what's your track that stands out from that? From everything that you've said, what's the track that's the one that you want to put forward for this answer?
Of all of the bits and pieces that I listened to, probably the one that's stuck with us the most it probably would be Roots Maneuver. There's something about Rodney's voice that is amazing.
It's a classic. Twice. It's an absolute classic. Yeah. It's still classic now.
Yeah, and I think
if it's on, I'm dancing.
Yeah, I think of all of them, Witness, The Fitness, it's just got some of those lyrics in at breakneck speeds. He drives 10 pints of bitter, and just little bits like that. So for me, for finding my feet in music, I would probably credit Roots Maneuver.
Let's hit it then.
Yeah, let's Witness.
Taskmaster burst the bionic six splitter. Breakneck speeds, we drown 10 pints of bitter. We lean all day and some say they ain't productive. Could that depend upon the demon that you're stuck with? Cause right now, I see clearer than most. I sit here contented with this cheese on toast. I feel the pain of a third world famine. Said wait, we count them blessings and keep damning. Says him, scumbag, scum of the earth. His worth was nil until he gained the skill of tongues. From 15 years young, straight to my greyback self. I stay top shelf material. Jerk chicken, jerk fish. Breakaway slave bliss. Generate G's and then be stashing with the Swiss. Fools can't see this. Under your pistols, a fist full of hip-hop duns. I progressing in the flesh. Esoteric quotes, most frightening. Duppy took a hold of my hand while I was writing. Leg on me ting, Duppy, leg on me an. I summon up the power of Banana Clan. Witness the fitness. The prophet and live one hope, one quest. Witness the fitness. The prophet and live one hope, one quest. Witness the fitness. The prophet and live one hope, one quest. Witness the fitness. The prophet and live one hope, one quest. Swigging that deep root juice. Now we there burning boots. Set them spirit them loose. Go ahead, go slash up the news. With conclusive proof about the truth, the right. Cause whether we hitchhike or push bike or travel kind of trash. Manifest that with oats and roots rap. Manifest that, yeah. I do my zing way. Ain't nothing else I know. Got up in the life with this ragged bone flow. Squeeze the pain from my belly and set my soul free. Travel over ocean, land and sea. Face enough stress and difficulty. Flung back from the brink. Whining kind of stink. We don't give a frig about what them fools think. Trigger network, our network will speak for itself. Proof of the trophy and the champion belt. Come sun, come rain, come hailstone pelt. Witness the fitness. The prophets and living. One hope, one quest. Witness the fitness. The prophets and living. One hope, one quest. Witness the fitness. The prophets and living. One hope, one quest. Yeah. Wanna submit with some old time shit. Let the old world know we's on some off key tip. Mega manic. When time the pressure start lick. By the hook or by the crook. By the poop or by the kick heave. Sickly cryptic. Spitting the code and most proud to present that Crufferton mode. And it shows that bro's done. Seen a few slights. Life row scenario. Reality bites. We in collision with the beast. Lost to religion. Now we can't get no peace. Idiot peak out. Want for tech. Eye for chief. Stoop to the level and we're plotting cold grief. But we should know that discipline make up the geese. Separation of the dat from the rat, that's a must. Proceed, set speed with the Clufferton touch. Proceed, set speed. Clufferton, y'all. Witness the fitness. The Clufferton living. One hope, one quest. Witness the fitness. The Clufferton living. One hope, one quest. Witness the fitness. The Clufferton living. One hope, one quest. Witness the fitness. The Clufferton living. One hope, one quest.
Classics. Also, if you like that, you should check out MC Pitman. Witness the Fitness. Very funny.
Yeah.
Very funny.
Well, yeah, that's Witness the Fitness Roots Maneuver. That was on Run Come Save Me, which I believe was released in 2001.
On Big Data.
Oh, that's his own label.
Yes.
On the Big Data label. Yeah, and I love Roots Maneuver and those sort of things, like, so.
Right, we've moved on. You've found your feet. You're sprinting,
running towards
through with hemlock in the wind. Your dreads are flying all over. You found your feet. You're moving through it. What's your first ravey memories?
Oh, I have a few different first ravey memories. I remember a few different things. I remember turbo mints or turbulence, and all of the sort of Hoover step that you'd get when you
Love
would
it.
go and see them.
Love all that.
And obviously they used to do the 2-room thing as well. So
Yes.
you'd have the drum and bass, the more Hoovery drum and bass in one room, and you'd have the hip hop in the other room. So
Best of both worlds, isn't it?
yeah, it was. You could go and see the likes of Jest and Skinny Man and Roots and Hoover, like we just played, over in one room, but you'd have all the drum and bass in the other room. One of my first and most definite rave memories is probably of being in the red rooms.
Oh, well, we've all got memories of the red rooms.
Yeah, whether it's
Happy days.
metal toilets. Metal toilets, that's the thing I remember about the red rooms. They didn't have porcelain to piss in, it was like tin.
Yeah.
And it was a bit weird. But I'd been to see a few different bits and pieces, but never really not much too ravey until I got dragged to go and see LTJ Bookham. Bookham was playing with MC Conrad.
Oh, what a combination.
It's the sound of the big G's overcoming the cheddar. I'll never forget him saying that. I'll just never forget him saying that. It's so good. But I remember going to see this LTJ Bookham gig and basically playing with substance for the first time. I sort of was in the midst of enjoying what was flowing through my body and really, really, really loving the drum and bass. And I can remember having such an absolute ball.
Jaw all over.
Yeah. And like, I think after LTJ Bookham came on, I think it was Adam F, who came on next on the same night. And it was like, it's a bit of a far cry because his style's a little bit different to that LTJ Bookham stuff.
Very much so. And sort of Alvin Stardust.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
True fact. True facts today on the Rave with Addie and Gav.
We're not just here to introduce you to Rave.
Information
Yeah.
overflowing today. Overflowing.
That's the one. And yeah, like I can remember that's probably one of my best rave memories. Is like it might have been 2000 maybe 2001 sort of time when I went to this rave. So it's a bit later than you getting into rave. But
Well, obviously.
But I am the younger, prettier one of the pair.
I'm old as the hills.
And yeah, like as I say, that's my first real rave memory.
So on that day, what's that one tune that he played that sparked this memory?
Oh, the one that I went home and downloaded immediately after. Circles.
Deleted, downloaded illegally.
The one that I went and bought the record of after.
Ah, right.
I did not. Yeah, we do not condone illegally downloading.
We wouldn't rip stuff off LimeWire. No.
No, definitely not.
Not back in the day.
No.
It would take a week anyways.
Well, that's it. Yeah.
I was too busy downloading porn then. So.
Well, that's it. Yeah, but I can remember that's the one track that really stood out to me at the time because I can remember leaving and just the check.
Yes.
And I can remember being like, right, I need to find that song. What's that song? And I think I harassed a few people, like coming out. Oh mate, you might know that song. What's this song? What's it called?
It goes a bit like check.
And eventually I got pointed towards Circles by Adam F.
There you go.
There you go.
So let's smash the shit out of this.
Yeah, Circles.
Good. Check.
Tick, 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 tick. Tick, tick, tick.
God, we're checking it.
Oh, the memories.
Checking it indeed.
Oh, yeah, Adam F. Circles. Colours? Was it on the album Colours?
Yes, I believe so. Positiva, really?
Positiva Records.
Positiva.
Positiva, yeah. I was quite shocked with that when I was looking through, but I didn't think it was on Positiva. I didn't know it was
I
on
would
Positiva.
never have picked that label out.
Yeah, I think it was like one of the earlier ones that he released that was on that label. So, but yeah, that's the thing, and that sort of encapsulates my first rave memories all in one.
It's a banger.
It's one of those ones that sort of, yeah, as I say, I got into music through the sort of softer end, and then
everyone likes it hard at the end.
Well, that's it, yeah. And then I sort of fell into a different rave group. I started hanging out with. I was a part of the group that did Rollies from Ice and
Big up Addie.
and Mark.
Yes.
Mark Wood, because Mark Wood was like my little brother. He used to live next door to where I lived, and he'd borrow my. You know what it is? I got told off of his mum for lending him a copy of Menace to Society, VHS. Just see a VHS.
We're going back in time again.
Right.
Gavin, you explain what a VHS is, since I did tapes last week.
Well, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. VHS is what basically came before DVD or Blu-ray. A black square that had not just audio but visuals on as well.
Audio and visual tape.
Well,
again, would turn over, but you couldn't wind this one with a pen.
No, definitely not. You'd put it in the machine.
And it would just chew the shit out of it.
Well, it was like memories of going to Blockbuster, and whatever movie you took, you didn't get to watch it straight away because you had to rewind the bastard first.
Yeah. Be Kind Rewind.
Be Kind Rewind.
Excellent film.
It's all made up, you know that.
Really? I thought it was a true story.
No. It's all improvised.
Really?
Yeah, it's not scripted. Jack Black and Mos Def.
I'm going to go watch that again.
Yeah, they make it up as they go along. You'll see, like when you watch it the second time round.
Does it become more noticeable?
Yeah, you can tell they're actually improvising everything all the way through it. So.
Oh, right. I'm definitely going to watch that. There's a film for you. There's just tidbits.
Movies as well.
We're doing everything for you. You lucky bastards.
Sound off in the comments if you hate that film. If you love it.
You're wrong, though. Yeah. You are wrong.
If you love it, then F I crack.
Yeah. So, moving on again. Number 4. Obviously, we've discussed that we've been to many festivals together.
I do love a bit of outdoor noise.
Out of all the people that we've seen at all the festivals that we've went to, which is a lot. There's a lot. Even if we just pick one Bangface, that's a lot of people that we could have seen. I normally see 4 people at a festival.
Yeah, because the rest of the time you're being too famous and being safe.
Famous and fun, you know. full of shenanigans and science.
Yeah. Well, that does happen as well.
But this is my list. This is your list, Gavin.
Yeah.
So where we're going with this one?
Festival-wise, the first festival I ever went to was Glastonbury.
Oh.
And I've done I think I've done 5 Glastonburys, 6 Glades, a handful of Bangfaces. First off as a punter, and then obviously we had the absolute pleasure of being able to play twice.
James, if you're listening, we're still available.
We still do things.
Any sets, bro?
We still do things, James.
Maybe we could come do this podcast down there, maybe DJ as well.
That'd be good, yeah.
We could interview some people.
On the Rave?
Maybe on the Rave on Bang TV.
Northern Hard Crew.
So we're just saying, just putting it out there. We'll send you a copy.
Yeah,
we'll hit you up.
We'll hit you up, yeah. You'll get tagged.
Yeah.
But yeah, like between the Bangfaces and obviously we were talking about the Glades last time. There's a lot of memories that I've got of festivals. I've had some of my best times of my life at festivals. I really, really have.
It's all of the fun.
Yeah, it is all of the fun. And not all of it's rave. I mean, I've got, as much as you talk about Glade and it's rave, the whole festival's rave. Everywhere you go.
Rave, psytrance. There's a lot of hippies.
There are a lot of hippies.
And a surprising amount of wizards in joke. People that know.
People that know. But we will warn everyone not to play that game.
Do not play the game.
That game is so dangerous.
We'll break you.
It's so dangerous.
You'll have to speak to me off online or something if you want to know what the game is. But don't. I'm not saying that you should definitely not do it.
We don't condone the wizard game. Of all the festivals I've been to, probably the most iconic one I remember was that very, very first Bangface.
Oh, it was a magical time.
First Bangface was just...
Pots and pans and Carbasans and BJs on the beach.
Yes, BJs on the beach, amazing. Totally forgot about that. Like, the thing with Bangface was it's the environment.
Yeah.
It's not just about being there for the music, it's being there for the crack.
Yeah.
And just...
Awesome crack. Seagulls the size of a horse.
Oh my god, those giant seagulls.
Yeah.
And I can remember people trying to catch those seagulls.
We don't condone catching seagulls in sets of drawers, but if you can, send us a picture and we'll post it.
Yeah, we'll retag that.
Yeah.
And,
if you can catch one, they're big, very big.
They're big seagulls,
very big.
the size of a turkey. That first Bangface, there's a few things that I did at that first Bangface that have forever stuck with me. That first Bangface was the first time I ever devilled up.
Yep.
Anyone who knows me knows that I've had...
Gav is the devil.
I've had an affliction for getting dressed up in red. And that first Sunday at the first Bangface when I got dressed up as the devil, that'll always stay with us. And there was a few different things I went to go and see dressed as the devil. I will never, ever, ever forget Chaz and Dave.
Oh.
I was done up as a devil. Done up as a devil, and Chaz and Dave played in the middle of this frickin' rave. It was just... mental, all of these ravers just to Margate, waving their arms and dancing around to Chaz and Dave. But I think my biggest memories from the set that went straight after Chaz and Dave, I remember seeing Square Pusher.
Oh, the affectionately known Square Tits.
Oh yeah, so I'll explain Square Tits really, really quickly. So I used to work at Richer Sounds, and when I worked at Richer Sounds, I'd got a holiday to go to this first Bangface festival. And they were asking me so what sort of music are you going to listen to? And I was saying, Chaz and Dave are going to be on, and this person and that person, and Square Pusher. And when I came back from the festival, I came in for my first day at work, and the manager was like, all right, Gav, how was Square Tits? And forever for me now, Square Pusher will be Square Tits. It's just, I don't know where he got Square Tits from, but yeah, there's just that memory of...
Just Square Tits,
Yeah. But there's
it's an easy mistake to make.
It is an easy mistake to make. I basically got dared by the same guy I was talking about before. I was talking about Addie. Ali, not Addie. Addie's sitting there.
No, I'm sitting here. Ali is probably making beer somewhere.
Oh, he'll be making beer somewhere.
Stroking his chin. Making beer.
Yeah, he'll be doing well. But there was this one moment where he was just egging us on, and him and Hudson were like...
Hood spoon!
They were like, go on, hop the barrier. Go on, hop the barrier. And I was like, no, I don't want to get kicked out. And they're like, look, it's the last day. Go on, just hop the barrier, get on with it. And I was like, look, I'll make a deal with you. If you plays this one certain song, I'll hop over the barrier and I'll start doing exactly what the song says. And inevitably it did drop. And I jumped over the barrier, started dancing.
How was the security?
Well, I saw them start to close in, and then they just sort of stepped back for a second.
Well, you are a massive devil, so...
Well, I was dressed as a devil with wings and fluffy boots and everything, yeah. So they obviously just didn't want to fuck with Satan. But,
it's, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
That's it. And the one track that I remember and that I am going to put down for this section, for my festival section, is Ghostbastic.
Oh, nice.
That slap bass intro and the like, it's a bit scatty, it's a bit all over the place, and it really shows like where I went with music after that. I might have had a bit of a soft beginning, but as soon as it got hard, it got hard. And with me, it was breakcore and jungle. Breakcore, jungle. Was never really the biggest Gav head until later in life. And there was just something about Square Tits and the slap bass and the scatty sort of drums that went with it that I just really enjoyed.
Nice. Well, let's go spastic.
Yeah. Everybody, go spastic.
went spastic there.
Ah, the memory, Joe, it is the sweat's pouring out of
Are
it.
you allowed to say spastic these days? Oh, well, I already have. Spastic, spastic, spastic.
Well, it's the name of the song. It's not
It's not like I'm being
someone.
abusive, no.
Yeah,
no.
that's Square Pusher, Go Spastic, from the album Go Plastic, I think. Which is on Warp.
Yes. The massively influential Warp.
Yeah, amazingly.
So, question 5. And... Gav has put his wild card!
Look,
So basically, wild card, you're allowed 2 picks on this.
yeah.
On this.
Category.
So, category. And the category is... Shared Discovery.
It is, it's Shared Discovery.
So, how's your shared discovery on this one?
Well,
Who did you share it with?
who did I share it with?
Who shared it with you?
Right, yeah, cool. So, the first of the Shared Discoveries
Right.
is something that I basically pressed play on by accident in a flat that I was living in. I was living in a communal flat with a few different people, and there was a PC in the front room that belonged to Ali. He's just going to get name dropped all the way through this shit.
All the beers. Beers and beards.
Beers and beards. And he had this like hard drive that was just rammed with so much music. And I'd been on an adventure down to the coast with Ali and with Jamie, with our mate Wonky Johnson. And,
He's massive. Looks like Peter Crouch.
We'd been down to the beach and we'd skimmed stones and we'd enjoyed each other's company.
A romantic weekend.
We had the most awkward metro journey home where those two I couldn't stop laughing, and people just kept looking at me and they were getting more and more weirded out by it, and it was time to go home and be a bit normal. And me and Jamie went back to the house and we sat down and I just randomly clicked on a file towards the bottom, which was by an artist called Wisp. And I'd never heard of Wisp before. I was just like, well, what's this all about? And it's like this sort of really soundscapey, glitchy, sort of like breakcore, but a bit more polite. Like something you'd see... It's a little bit chiptuney. It's like something that could have been made on a Game Boy.
Lovely.
And like me and Jamie...
I do love a bit chiptune.
Yeah. And me and Jamie had sat with like our mouths wide open, like, oh, what is this? This is amazing. And I think we sat like for a good while, just sort of every tune that came on, we were like, oh, this is great. Oh, this is amazing. But there was like this one particular tune that stood out to us that I proper loved. And I don't think enough people know Wisp. I remember, again, it's another Bangface story.
Yeah, it is.
What we like with the Bangface stories.
Oh, we've got lots.
Well, the disaster Bangface, I'm going to call it, the one in the caravan park.
Oh yes, Cornwall.
Cornwall.
That was an epic journey.
That was
Great cider that weekend, though. Fantastic cider.
Yeah, it's a shame that
The sound was horrific.
Yeah, and at one point he was playing, and I went into this room to go and see Wisp, and there was 4 of us, and that was it. And I was like, damn, this dude's come all the way from Canada, and no one's listening to him.
Yeah.
And I was just like, look, if no one else is going to do it, I'm going to do it. So I just stood at the front the whole way through, dancing in circles and screaming at him to play this one particular song. And in the end, there was only 4 of us. There was only 4 of us in there, so it wasn't like he wasn't going to play the song that I was requesting and shouting at him over and over and over to play. So I was like, play Among the Pines, and eventually he did. And it was amazing, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And he was the best thing I saw that weekend. I sort of lost the Sunday on that weekend. I think I stayed awake from the Wednesday through until the Saturday night. I slept all day Sunday and got woke up on the Monday morning.
Yes, you did. Yeah, you did. We tried to wake you up on the Sunday, and you were just like, meh, and I woke you up on the Monday, and you were just like, oh well, let's
go and see
let's go get on the rave. And I was like, God, it's time to go home.
Yeah, I slept the whole Sunday, and I missed Aphex Twin. And it was like, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, Aphex was all right." I was like, "Well, I don't really feel as bad for not."
Yeah, he was just all right. The sound system was terrible.
Yeah, well, that's it. And my first song that everyone should be out there, and the song that I'd like to share with all of you, so you all discover, is Wisp, and the song's called "Amongst the Pines."
Let's get amongst it. Well, that was lovely.
Oh, I just
lovely.
love that song. I love the way.
Lovely.
I love the crescendo. I love the way it builds up slowly into this like massive soundscapey thing, and then calms all the way back down and politely drops you off. It's just, it's whisper. Yeah.
So your second dedication.
Wild card.
Herp, herp.
Yeah, the second one that I have chose, the second artist I've chose to share with everyone is an artist called Daedalus.
Oh, yes, he is particularly sexy.
Yeah, Daedalus, if people haven't heard of him, he is a producer. I think he's American or Canadian.
Yeah, I believe so.
He dresses like a sort of 16th century dapper gentleman while he does his sets. So you'll see lots of work with him in his top hats and stuff like that. And the reason I'm sharing this one particular song is because it samples one of my favourite movies of all time.
Steven Seagal, Mark for Dead. No, that's mine. That's mine. Same one.
Close.
Movies again.
It samples Matthew Broderick
Uh-huh.
from the film War Games.
Oh, there's a film and a half.
Yeah, so if people haven't seen War Games, I mean, where have you been? Like, go and put War Games on. It's like, this is before Matthew Broderick killed a guy in Ireland. Matthew Broderick killed a guy.
Was it?
No, he ran him over.
Really?
Yeah, this is a true story. He killed a guy in Ireland. Like, he ran over
I thought you were going to go with a trident or something like
with a trident. It's like,
No,
that
we're
would
going
be me
on-
with my devil trident.
So we're going all anger man there.
Matthew Broderick killed the guy. But no, it samples a part of War Games, and I love that film. That film is about a young guy who hacks into a military computer and accidentally starts global
Thermonuclear war and solves it with a game of tic-tac-toe.
He does, yeah, he does. Sorry for ruining the whole film.
Spoilers!
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
spoilers from 80s films.
Yeah, hashtag spoilers. If you haven't seen it by now, then
You're canny behind.
that's it.
This printer's been out and everything, so there you're probably not going to get to it.
Yeah, and what it does is this tune by Daedalus actually samples the computer.
Would you like to play again?
Yeah. Which game would you want?
Tic-tac-toe. Sorry, I'm not banging that, just because that's me pressing a key.
The name of the song is Hours, Minutes and Seconds. And as I say, it samples it's not Matthew Broderick, but it samples the computer from War Games. And I think everyone should give Daedalus a listen. He's got some amazing music out there.
He's a wacky gentleman.
He's a bit of a wacky gentleman. And his albums have all got amazing names. The album that this song's off is called Love to Make Music To. And I just think that's
a genius name.
it is. It's a really clever name. It's a really clever name. And I think most of his releases in the UK are actually on Ninja Tunes.
Yes, they are.
Which is like a seminal sort of trip-hoppy label.
It's a very weird label for him to be on, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, well, considering the sort of niche music that he does. But my second share discovery, I think everyone should have a listen to Daedalus. And if you're going to listen to Daedalus, use this example and start with Hours and Minutes and Seconds.
Right. Let's get weird.
Let's get weird, yeah.
Wow, we got something. We're in.
Time elapsed, time remaining. Time elapsed, time remaining. Time elapsed, time remaining. To win the game. Hours and hours and minutes and seconds. Hours and hours and minutes and...
Love to.
Hours and...
If that doesn't make you want to go and listen to watch war games, what does?
Well, I just want to watch war games. War games now.
War games, yeah.
So, well, let's get through this list first.
Yeah.
Right. So you're at the front right speaker, massive rave. What's making you wave your hands in the air like a fucking bastard?
Oh God, probably the same as you, mate. Anything with pianos. There's something about, we were talking about this on episode 1. You can go back and listen to episode 1 when we went through all of Addie's stuff.
It's in the archives.
For me, there are a few people out there who have that. There are quite a few people out there who have that ability to make you swing those arms in the air and wave your arms. There's loads of people out there that we've like.
They've just touched with the rave magic.
Yeah, that's it. There's artists out there like Bizzy B who would always play huge tunes. With big vocal tracks and stuff like that.
Elliot fanboy.
Shut my bad man, shut my bread man. All of that sort of stuff's great, but for me, it's old school. It's always been old school.
You've got to love old school.
Yeah, there's something about the piano and the drums and that sort of vibe that comes with old school. And I think when you're talking about old school, for me, there's one group that's at the pinnacle.
Yeah.
And I'd be very surprised if 10, 12, hundreds of years haven't already guessed exactly what I'm going for. But for me, there just simply isn't an act that encapsulates arms in the air moments bigger than Alternate. I think
this is true. I can't disagree with you, Gavin.
I think there's some things that'll just never change. Fat Michael never put money into Newcastle United. Decent DJs don't want to come to town anymore because the venues are shite.
This is true.
But if you want to put your arms in the air and you want to have a dance to something, old school piano does it. And alphabetically A comes first, and in my mind Alternate come first when it comes to this, because there's just something about a handful of those tunes that they play. Mark Archer, the guy who...
Legend.
Hello, Mark lad, if you're listening. I bet he's too famous for that, isn't he?
Not as famous as me, but yeah.
Well, I know, I've had fun. But yeah, for me, it would be Alternate. And there's a few times that I've been in the crowd watching. I'm like pouring. Look at this.
You certainly are.
It is
a hot day.
It is a really warm day in the On the Rave studio. For me, there's like one tune above all of the other ones. It starts with "This Is the Sound of Alternate," and ba 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 ba. Oh my God, my arms are in the air. The goosebumps come in. And there's just nothing like it. We saw him recently at the Sage.
Yes, what a night! What a night! Killed it.
30th anniversary tour.
Yes.
Like, they've been touring for nearly as long as I've been alive. That's mental. It's absolutely mental to me. But Mark was so amazing, and he was a nice guy, and he always makes time to be nice to us.
Yes.
He's always been spot on. Again, he's someone who we met at Bangface.
Bangface, yeah.
We're just going to say that.
Bangface. You're going to hear Bangface an awful lot.
Yeah, well, at least in these first two.
Yeah. It might die off a little bit until we'll bring it back. Don't worry.
But my arms in the air moment, it just has to be Evaporate. Like, I've seen so many other people. I've seen so many other people play Evaporate and just kill a room. Just like everyone loves it. It's just got that vibe. That
every time. Kills it every single time.
It's one of those tunes that if it comes on the radio, you turn it up. If you're listening to a playlist and it comes on, it makes you smile. You don't need to. You just know it's that vibe. It's Alternate. It's Evaporate.
Let's do this.
Evaporate.
This is the moment they've all been waiting for. This is the sound of Alternate. Evaporate!
You take me higher, I want this to
my god.
Take me higher.
You lucky bastards. If you listen to this, you're so fucking lucky. Like, and we should be charging for this, but we're not because we're lovely people.
This is going out free. On the Rave with Addie and Gav. You can catch us at On the Rave on Twitter or on Facebook. And
YouTube.
And YouTube.
And YouTube. Remember to like, subscribe and share.
Yeah.
Remember,
just like all the trained YouTubers.
If you've got any, if you listen to this, pass it on to a friend who also loves the Rave.
Yeah.
It's not getting boring.
No, it's not getting. We'll still be on the Bang Talk.
We're always on the Bang Talk.
Moving on.
To your dedication. Who is your dedication?
Right, okay. So this was a tricky subject for me because there was loads of tunes I wanted to dedicate to loads of different people, and there was also songs that I wanted to put on this playlist that I was like really, really trying to work a way of putting it in, and like luckily this sort of as soon as I decided what song I wanted to listen to, I knew exactly who I wanted to dedicate it to. So to make it really, really quick and simple, the tune is by Remarc. I've had the absolute pleasure of being able to MC for Remarc. He came and played for us, and Remarc was just such a nice guy, and I've seen him play loads of absolutely banging sets. And the tune I've selected is R.I.P. And I've chose to dedicate it to someone who's not with us anymore. Lots of people who would hopefully be listening to this would have known the guy. I'd like to pay R.I.P. for Remarc for someone who I miss dearly.
Indeed.
Jake Thompson, Dad, you're out there, and we love you, and I wish you were still here, but at least we've got a chance to do something nice like this and dedicate it to you. So if anyone out there is listening and just happens to have a glass, tip one out, and remember what a fucking lovely guy Jake really was.
Yes.
And I don't think there is a more fitting song than R.I.P. Jakey T by Remarc. Quiet, more somber moment, but just please enjoy some jungle and remember someone that you want to remember. I want to dedicate this to Jake Thompson, and this is Remarc.
You know me love down ya. 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 All jungle is and them thing there. You know me love down ya. 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 All jungle is and them thing there.
R.I.P. Rest in peace. Pussy get a coffin and them soon get the with me ball. R.I.P. Rest in peace. Pussy get a coffin and them soon get the with me ball. R.I.P. Rest in peace. R.I.P. Rest in peace. R.I.P. Rest in peace. Pussy get a coffin and them soon get the with me ball.
You know me love down ya. All jungle is and them thing there. You know me love down ya. You know me love down ya. All jungle is and them thing there.
Dead blood clot is a dead bumper clot. Dead pussy clot is a dead blood clot. Dead blood clot. Dead blood clot is a dead blood clot is a dead bumper clot. Dead blood clot is a dead bumper clot. Dead pussy clot is a dead blood clot is a dead bumper clot. Dead pussy clot is a dead soon get the rhythm ball. R.I.P. Rest in peace. R.I.P. Rest in peace. R.I.P. Rest in peace. You know me love Donya. 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 I'll jungle this and this thing. And them soon get the rhythm ball. R.I.P. Rest in peace. R.I.P. Rest in peace. R.I.P. Rest in peace. Pussy get a coffin and them soon get the rhythm ball.
Amazing. Yeah.
That's all that needs to be said, really.
That's all that needs to be said. Yeah, like, love you, Jake. And it's like, yeah, just, I hope everyone enjoyed that tune. Yeah.
So for the next question, you're looking down into your dingy, gritty bits of your soul, what you've hidden, the little bits, the dirty, dirty scum that you don't like people to know about. What's your guilty pleasure, Gavin?
Oh God, I've got so many. I've got so many guilty pleasures when it comes to music. I'm a '90s boy, and I grew up through the '90s, and just there's a lot of '90s stuff that I absolutely love, and that people might not know about. I've got there's a few proper guilty pleasure I've got. Do you know what it is, Addie? I love male voices in harmony. I really do. It's one of my guilty pleasures. Boys to Men, Drew Hill.
Oh, there you go.
Casey and Jojo. I used to love that sort of No My Life. Like that sort of
amazing
male voices harmonising like that, and lots of people wouldn't see that from me. They look at a 6'2" dreadlock Geordie, and they don't assume that he listens to that sort of stuff. And like that sort of R&B's always been one of my guilty pleasures. But I've got more. It's terrible.
Come on.
I really do.
We're friends. No one's gonna judge you on this. Just let it out.
Addie, I'm gonna say it. I'm not picking one of his tunes, but you know who I really like?
Who?
I'm gonna get ripped to bits. I really like Skrillex. And loads of people are gonna. There's something about bang-a-rang and all that noise that I really liked, and there'll be so many.
I never thought that was gonna come out.
Nah, people are gonna, have you turned off? Hello? Have you turned off? I'm sorry. I like Skrillex.
Don't know. We're moving on. We're moving on quickly.
But I think one of my biggest guilty pleasures is probably J-pop, and there are a few different bits and pieces. I don't understand what they're saying.
I'm feeling it.
I don't understand what they're saying. But there's one thing out there in particular that is a bit of a guilty pleasure of mine at the minute. I kind of listen to it every day, which is a bit yeah, and I do, and fuck it, yeah, it's baby metal. I absolutely love baby metal. If you,
I'm with you on that one.
Right.
It's lovely.
If anyone hasn't heard of baby metal, they are basically 3 little Japanese girls and a full band doing crazy, ravey, metally, absolutely mental stuff with loads of really polite, nice dancing Japanese lasses. You know what it is? I haven't got a fucking clue what they're saying.
Something about chocolate sometimes.
Yeah, well, that's
all I remember.
You just totally
spoiled it. Sorry, Gavin.
Oh.
It's the only word of all the songs that I know.
It's the yeah, well, it's it. It's the only. The rest of it's in Japanese, and we're Geordie.
No, I did make a trap to try to catch some with one Bangface, but it didn't work.
You tried to catch a jab?
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't realise that. People normally just try and catch seagulls at Bangface.
No, there was a few who tried to catch it.
Yeah.
There was a lot of them.
But yeah, my biggest guilty pleasure at the minute in music is Gimme Chocolate by Baby Metal.
Let's smash the shit out of this then. How are you?
God, you're going to love this.
Chocolate.
on. You see what I mean?
That's a mint.
You see what I mean?
Mint.
You see what I mean? There's just some like, yeah, it's J-pop, but to me that's just, it's so good and it's so Gav. Like it really is so Gav. I love it. I love that. I really do.
So moving swiftly along.
Swiftly.
I think anyone that really knows Gav, it's going to be obvious what your goat is. People that really know Gav, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
But for those that don't know you as well as we do, Howie, give us your goat.
Let's all say it in unison, everybody. 1, 2, 3. David Bowie. That's exactly who it is. Anyone who knows me knows that Bowie is just my legend. At one point in my life when I wasn't very... Well, I didn't really have direction in my life and I didn't know where I was going. I used to pray to Bowie for direction because in my mind he was more likely to reply than any fucking god.
This is true.
I genuinely... When he died a couple of years ago, I genuinely spent 40 minutes crying in bed. My girlfriend come through and told me, Steffi, hello Steffi, she came through and she told me, Gav, look, I'm really sorry, Bowie died today. And she was like, do you want a hug? And I was like, I kind of like to just be left alone for a bit. And I spent 40 minutes crying in my bed.
Reflection.
Because when I'd had lost periods in my life, I'd listen to Bowie music to try and put myself back together.
Yeah.
And there's just something about Bowie, he's chameleonic. He's the first real musical chameleon. Yeah. In my mind, he would change, and he would strip his character down and come back. And you had.
It's almost like how people refer to as Madonna as reinventing herself every few, but he would do that way before that she was doing that.
And you had all the different stages. You had him when he was Ziggy Stardust. You had him when he was the Thing White Duke. You had him in the 90s when he was doing all of that obscure music that was coming out from him in the 90s, all the crazy dark techno and the drum and bass that he made with one of the producers from Prodigy. And I genuinely think that his best album he ever released is the last one he released, Black Star. There are some of those songs on that album that just fucking move me. They really, really do. I haven't picked one of those ones because I've picked I've picked my second favourite Bowie song. I didn't want to put my favourite one on because I thought this suited the podcast a lot more. David Bowie is my GOAT. He, in my opinion, no one will ever replace David Bowie as the greatest of all time. And people might not know that David Bowie invented drum and bass. Did you know that David Bowie invented drum and bass?
I did.
He claims that he invented it in 1986. Parts of the Labyrinth soundtrack that was produced by David Bowie have that sort of and he looked back and he said without irony as well that he invented drum and bass, which is fucking hilarious.
Well, he's the greatest of all time, so
well, that's it, yeah.
He can pretty much do what he wants.
He could have done anything he wanted. He could have done anything he wanted to me as well. Seriously, and I'm genuinely gutted that I'll never ever get the chance to see him or meet him, but we'll always have that amazing back catalogue of music.
Yes.
And in particular, some of the stuff he did in the 90s that I mentioned before. He released an album in 1997 on Virgin Records called Earthling. And the first song on Earthling is called Little Wonder. And that is the tune that I think you should all listen to and enjoy. You Little Wonder You.
Let's get into it.
Bowie.
Stinking weather, fat, shaky hand, dopey morning, dog grumbling arms. Little wonder then, little wonder, you little wonder you. Big screen dolls, hits and explosions, sleepy time, that's full of you. Little wonder then, little wonder, you little wonder you. I'm getting it. Intergalactic, seeming to be you. It's all in the tablets, sneezy return. Little wonder then, little wonder. You little wonder you. Mars happy nations sit on my car. Sending me so far away, 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 so far away.
Little wonder you. Oh, I just fucking love Bowie.
It's just lovely little tune.
It
little
is.
ditty.
A little ditty. Yeah, and it's a bit unexpected. Obviously, lots of people don't think of Bowie, and they'll probably think of stuff like "There's
Big
a
tunes,
Star
yeah.
Man" and "Changes" and all of those
Massive tunes.
But for me, the stuff he was releasing in the 90s was just so progressive and so different to everything else that he'd released, and he just became a completely different character again, didn't he? So, yeah, David Bowie, rest in peace, forever fucking madly in love with that man. And, yeah, David Bowie.
Good answer.
Addie, we're time two.
What are we on? This is the last two. I'd just like to remind everyone that this is the On the Rave Pod with Addie and Gav podcast.
That's the one, and you can catch us on the Rave on Facebook and on Twitter. You can catch us on YouTube as well,
and soon to be iTunes.
Yeah, we're hopefully going to
be on the Rave again, or on some sort of variation.
Unless it's been stolen.
Unless it could have been stolen.
If it's been stolen, we will find
that will be my fault for not setting it up yet.
Yeah,
but it will happen. It'll happen.
So what's the last question, Addie?
Your rave essence. What from inside you is your personal rave anthem?
Oh dear, this is
There's so much to choose.
There really is. There are so many tunes to choose from. I mean, there's just so much that I dive back to. Like for me, it'll be jungle. It'll be probably slightly breakcore because they're the sort of things that I get that have always done it for me. My personal rave anthem will have piano. It'll have bass. It'll have crazy drums.
Just thrown together and mashed up.
Yeah, mashed up is quite mashed up.
It's
is
very
quite an ironic title. So, no, I think anyone who knows me knows that this tune's my personal anthem because, like Bowie is my favourite of all time. My favourite hard producer of all time is Bong Ra. There's just something about the music that man puts out, and there's loads of class songs. He's got Murder, he's got 666 and the Suicide Girls, and there's so many amazing tunes that he did, but there's just that one that fucking sends me apeshit every time. And I know that you've played it on my request,
yes.
And I know that other people have played it on my request. Because it's just a tune, and I would say that it is my personal anthem. I'd like to think that...
It is a wonderful, wonderful record.
It is a wonderful record. It is. And it has such a wonderful name that's got fuck all to do with the rest of the song.
Yeah.
The tune's by Bong Ra. The song is Hello, My Cock is an Aardvark.
Let's get into Aardvarks right now.
Go on.
Well, that was an experience and a half. I hope you enjoyed that as much as what we did on the Rave Studios.
Oh, you know, as I was saying, I was warm before. Oh my lord!
It got a whole lot hotter there for the last 4 minutes.
Oh dear, there's just something about that tune that really gets
It's got everything. Again, it has got everything.
It's got the piano, it's got the crazy bass, it's got all the different bits and pieces. A close second was Venetian Snare as well that Wednesday.
Oh, that's also
and that was such a close second because loads of people like that, like eating leather jackets in your punani, and like just that tune's amazing as well. But in a fight, there's no
if you can't go mental with that, you've got no legs.
Well, I just my cock is an aardvark. What a fucking tune that is. Addie, we're done.
Again. We're rapidly through that. That must mean it's the scientific time.
Oh, is it? Ah, well, just one final reminder. I know we'll keep saying it over and over and over and over and over again, but you can catch us on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, soon to be on iTunes, hopefully soon to be on Spotify as well.
Yes.
And maybe SoundCloud. Maybe we'll just name dropping all of them.
We'll be on everything. We'll be all over your neck, face, and chest.
All over the place. And yeah, you can catch us at On The Rave, all in capital letters because why fucking not? We're down to the last tune of the night, and it's time again for Addie's scientifically approved finale. # one more tune.
Right, well, last week we went...
It was the cover, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the cover, so I think for this scientific tune, I'm going to dig deep into my test tube bag and whip out an absolute monster, and it's going to be Disciples of Annihilation, New York City Speedcore.
Name dropped in the first.
Yes.
Being closing.
Absolute anthem of industrial strength.
Again, it's that record label again, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's been Addie, I've been Gav. This is the On The Rave podcast.
We are now officially off the rave.
Welcome to another meeting of the Electric Hellfire Club, where rogues and scoundrels gather with diabolical machines and infernal devices to conjure sounds and images from the darkest depths of hell.
We'll be right back.